Hi everyone, it's Vicky. Today I'm working on some toiletry bags. So I'm making these for my Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes. This is part of Samaritan's Purse, and I've been buying little bits along the way during the year, toiletry items. So you can't send any liquids, but I can send soap bars, I can send toothbrushes, a face cloth, a nail brush, those kind of things. I think I've also put aside some emery boards for some of the girl boxes. So what I've done is I've taken a fat quarter. This was from Aldi. I have pre-washed all my fabric and I've ironed it so it won't shrink. So this is the Aldi size fat quarter, and it's too big to show you the whole thing, but I'll give you the measurements. This is 18 inches wide or 46 centimeters, and length is almost 21 inches and about 53 centimeters. So I'll put all the measurements in the description box, and I'm going to sew these the same way that I sew my drawstring bags. So I will come and do a step-by-step along the way and show you where I'm going to sew. First, I'm going to sew that side there, and that is the 53 centimeter or the 21 inch side. So I'm going to sew that together, right sides facing. I'm going to sew a seam along there. So I've sewn across there, and now I'm going to fold it here, and I'm going to take this back to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew across this side, and this side I will sew here, leave a gap, and sew here. So I have sewn all the way across here, and on this side I've sewn there, I've left a gap, and I've sewn there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this inside out through that gap, I'm going to push out these corners with my fingers, and then I'm going to go inside and I'm going to push out those corners as well at the bottom. And what I have now almost looks like a cushion cover or a pillowcase. So there's my gap, and I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to sort of bend it there, give myself a crease so I know where I need to turn it in. And I'm going to take that halfway mark, and I'm going to take this side and put it inside. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm pushing the corner into the corner and the corner into the corner. Just tidy it up a bit, straighten it. So I'm just straightening it with my hand. So what I've got now is I've got an outside bag that is lined, and inside there's a hole where I've turned everything inside out. I will sew that closed a bit later, but for now I'm going to go to the sewing machine. Just want to straighten that out a little bit more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew 3 lines. And 2 of those lines are going to be the casing for the ribbon, because I'm going to make this a drawstring bag. I'll show you the measurements when I've sewn it. So here are those seams that I've done. I've sewn them all the way around to make a casing. I use measurements on my sewing machine, but actual measurements, this is 1/8 of an inch. I'm just using that part because you can't really see where the metal part is. Now if I put the tape measure there, the next one is at 6/8, and the next one is at 1 3/8. But as I say, I use the marks on my sewing machine, and I'll take a quick picture and show you what those marks look like. So the first mark that I use is there. I have this part lined up just on the inside of that. So that gives me my first one. My second line, I line it up to the end of that little casey thing, and it lines up to 20, I think that's 20 millimeters on my sewing machine, and that's where I stitch my next line. And my third line, I line it up to the edge of that metal plate. So you can see there, that's my third line. So that's the way I do it to get my even lines all the way around. After sewing that casing and that's all secure, then I can sew that inside seam together, the one where we turned it all inside out. So it is here, and I've just sewn it shut on the sewing machine. So I just fold it like that and I put it through the sewing machine. So all the raw edges are now on the inside. And now I'm going to add my ribbon drawstrings. So I've got a safety pin, and I've got some ribbon. What green would look good. So I'm going to do just over 1 and 2. Oh. So if I fold this in half, you've got a little bit on that side and a little bit on that side. So I'm using double the width of the bag. I'm going to use 2 of these because I want 2 drawstrings. This is a little bit blunt. And I'm going to put my safety pin through both of them. I'm going to take not the first casing, the second one. I'm going to cut a little hole on the top fabric on both corners. So you just got to be a bit careful. Don't cut all the way through. Just cut through that top fabric. Don't use blunt scissors like me. Don't know why I pulled these ones out. Anyway, so I've done that side, and let's do a little cut on this side. I just want to cut the top fabric. I don't want to cut all the fabric. Okay, so there's a little hole there, and there's nothing on the inside. And I'm going to take my safety pin and I'm going to thread it through. So you're going to go in one side, you're going to feed your ribbon through. When you get to halfway, you can pull your safety pin and your ribbons out. Don't pull them all the way out on that side because you still need them on that side. And then back again this way. Yep. And I can take my safety pin out. So I've got some loops on the side and I've got some raw ends here. Don't lose these raw ends. So now I need to find the other half of this one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull, let's pull them like that. I'm going to pull one of these on one side and see which one moves. So it's that one. And I'm going to pull the other side of that loop and see which one moves. And it's that one. So I think that those two are friends. Let's pull it and see. Okay, so those two are joined. That's the same ribbon. If you are confused or it's too difficult to do that, just use 2 different color ribbons. That would also work fine. and those two are friends. So I'm going to tie those two together, and I'm going to go back to here, and I'm just going to pull one of these out, and I'm going to feed it all the way through. Let's get it past. I'm going to feed it all the way through, and if you've joined the right ones, you should be able to do that. If you can't do that, then you've knotted the wrong ones together and you have to do it again. But there is a little drawstring bag to hold some toiletries, and I think they'll be a great addition to my Christmas shoeboxes. So thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.